It's Clapperboard Chris, and Operation Hutch takes on mucus.
Oi, that's my job!
Seeing as we can't go from our home to the lab, I thought we'd do the next best thing and bring the lab into the home, into Zahn's kitchen to be precise. So you know what this means, Zahn?
I certainly do, Chris. It means that it's time for me to put the finishing touches to my screenplay. Since I've been directing this show so brilliantly, I thought I'd branch out and write a feature-length film. The only thing is, Chris, there seems to be quite a lot of it missing. All I had to do was write the final scene where the hero, Dr. Zahn, rides in...
Are you talking about the great big stack of papers that was just here?
Yes, exactly. Where is it?
Definitely haven't seen it.
Well, it's here somewhere. I'm sure it'll turn up.
Yes, well, in the meantime, it's time for Do Try This at Home.
Yes! We've rigged my kitchen with every gadget you can think of!
We're gonna get up,
Close and personal!
I am literally calling the shots. Look at this.
Oi, action! Ah! Today's topic is mucus! But do you know where in your body you get mucus from? Is it A, your mouth?
B, your nose.
C, your throat. D, your esophagus. E, your stomach. F, your duodenum, or your colon, or your rectum.
Son, I think that's enough options for the multiple choice.
Well, the answer is all of them. You're an absolute mucus factory.
That's right, your body is a mucus-making machine. Special cells and glands that line all the tubes that go from the outside of your body to the inside of your body are constantly producing the slippery stuff. And it also lines almost all of the cavities that are found inside your body.
But what is it for? Why do we need it? Well, to show you, we're going mucus hunting.
This is Zahn's endoscope. Welcome back, Endwina.
Hello again.
Time for Endwina to have a good nosy up Zahn's nose. This is a bit that you can't do at home. Remember, we're doctors. You should never put anything up your nose. The first thing you'll notice is there are lots of thick hairs, and those act as a filter to trap anything big from getting up the nose. And just past there...
Woohoo! I spy a bogey.
This is just a piece of dried up nasal mucus. And you can also see some trapped dirt. This is one of the main jobs of nasal mucus, stopping dirt and dust getting down into your lungs. Now keep going, Zahn. Oh, stop there. Here you'll notice the lining of the nose is very red, and that's the mucous membrane. It's wet because it's covered in mucus, and if we zoom in, you'll see there are lots of blood vessels. And if you go a little further, Zahn, you'll see the nasal turbinates. But to get a really good look at them, Zahn, we need to go up through your mouth.
Let's have a look at my turbinates.
Okay, now we're travelling all the way to the back of Zahn's mouth. Up we go, and here they are. Hello, turbinates! These are ridges of bone covered in a thick mucous membrane which enables them to warm and moisten the air that you breathe in.
Oh, look! When I breathe in, there's a big bit of mucus right there.
All right, Zahn, stop messing around with Endwina and get back here now. Now, Zahn, did you know that you breathe in around 12,000 litres of air every day?
Yes, I did know that, actually, Chris. But did you know that to warm and moisten that air, your body has to make about 1 litre of snot every day? Did you know that?
Yes, I did. And did you know that you have to swallow most of that snot?
Yes, I did know that, Chris. But did you know that 44% of people surveyed in the UK thought it was OK to pick their nose and eat their bogies?
Well, did you know, Zahn, that whilst picking your nose and eating it isn't actually bad for you, it is extremely disgusting and very bad manners?
No, I didn't know that, actually, Chris.
Well, you do now, so stop doing it. But why does the thickness and the colour of snot sometimes change? Well, to show you, it's time to
make snot rockets! Woohoo!
Snot rockets. And you can wash your hands first, Zahn. For today's Do Try This at Home, you will need to ask a grown-up if you can have 2 syringes from old medicine packets, Obviously, don't fiddle around or play with or consume medicines.
And if you don't have any of them,
You could also use a small toothpaste tube. Cut the flat end off and clean it out. Once filled with homemade snot, you can tape it back up again.
Or your grown-ups may have a syringe they use for baking.
but ask permission first.
4 sheets of A4 paper, sticky tape, a jug, 1 fork, a ruler, a pen or a pencil. Come on, Zond, keep up. 1 packet of gelatin. You can buy it cheaply in most supermarkets in the baking section. 150 ml of hot, not boiling water. A few drops of green food colouring. Half a teaspoon of yellow food colouring. And some bin bags, a plastic sheet or an old tablecloth to protect the snot firing area.
Well, that is a lot of stuff to get hold of, Chris.
Come on, Zand, it's not rocket science.
Oh, I see what you did there. It's not rocket science! We're going to test how far thin and thick snot can travel through the air in a simulated sneeze. Here's how to make the snot. First of all, take your gelatin and add it to 150 mils of hot water. And then give it a bit of a stir. There we go, gelatin in, stir it around. Next, you've got to make it look realistic. So it needs a bit of yellow food colouring. We'll put a decent amount in there. And then a little bit of green to give it that realistic colour. And everything should be a little bit green, in my opinion. There we go.
Healthy snot is entirely clear. Green snot is a sign of an infection, and that's why lots of people think that the colour green is absolutely disgusting. That is true, though.
Give that a little stir so it's all dissolved.
And if you want it to set quickly, you can put it in the fridge like me.
And I intend to film the entire event using my trusty 360 camera. Check it out, Chris. This is the hallmark of a good director. Right, here we go. Off to the fridge. Get this away so we can do the next. Ah! Chris! Mini Zond, Mini Rongs, and Mini Chris are having a party in the fridge. This is not what I expect, you three. Get out of my mustard.
The fake snot will take around 15 to 20 minutes to set.
You three behave. And now, while that stuff is setting, it's time to prepare the rocket launching site.
So what you want to do is put 4 sheets of A4 lengthways in a line and stick them together with little bits of sticky tape. And then you're going to get your ruler and a pen and mark out 10 centimetre increments. That is little lines with 10 centimetres between them. Mark up the whole length of the 4 pieces of paper, which will probably be around 1 metre. And this is going to allow you to measure just how far you can spray the different thicknesses of snot.
And how far do you think the snot's going to travel?
And which one do you think will travel furthest, the thick one or the thin one?
Use some plastic sheeting. You can use an old bin bag, something like that, even some newspapers, anything to stop colouring and marker pens getting on your grown-ups' kitchen surfaces. There we go. The snot rocket launching site is ready. You may have to give the snot a bit of a stir to break it up and get the lumps out, and it should end up thick and gloopy like real snot from a very snotty nose. Okay, Chris, that's ready.
Now it's time to load the rocket!
So snot, as you've seen with the snot that we've made, is mostly water, about 95%. It's also got some protein in it, and that's what makes it thick and sticky. In our snot, we've used gelatin, but real snot contains proteins called mucins.
Okay, very interesting, Chris. Mucin, snot, proteins. Can I now try the thick snot rocket?
No, snot also contains antibodies, which are proteins from the immune system, which bind onto and help destroy bacteria and viruses, and it also contains an enzyme called lysozyme. There's one more thing. Everyone always wants to know, why is snot green? Well, it goes green when you've got an infection, either a virus or a bacteria. And the green is a chemical released by your white blood cells called myeloperoxidase, and it contains iron, which when iron is bound to oxygen in a particular way, it goes green. So that is the green in snot.
Well, Chris, that is fascinating. But now it's time to test the snot rockets, please.
All right.
Are you ready?
Hold on, I'm going to film them in slow motion.
I'm going to put this one here, because you can never have too many cameras when you're filming a snot rocket launch.
T-minus 20 seconds to launch and counting.
Right.
All systems are go.
Chris, are you ready?
Yes.
Prepare for liftoff in 5, 4...
3, 2, 1! Well, that was pretty amazing!
I think we need to see that again in double slow-mo.
Most of the snot had landed by 35 centimetres.
That's a really good, disgusting, snotty sneeze.
Well, that's all well and good, Chris, but you know what we need to do now?
Make some thin snot.
We need to make the thin snot. You can actually make thin snot from thick snot just by adding a little more hot water.
There's lots of things that affect the thickness of snot. One of the reasons snot becomes thicker when you're ill is the increased number of immune cells which are helping to fight off the infection. But when you're well, particularly after you've had a sneezing fit, the snot you produce is really clear and thin. And that's partly because after you sneeze, that's your body's signal to produce lots of snot, which helps wash out your nose. Done!
I'm ready for the thin snot rocket, Chris.
Fine.
OK.
10 seconds to thin snot launch. Engaging snot fuel tanks. Fuel tanks engaged. Over.
Are we ready for launch?
3,
2, 1. Wow, look at that!
Now that must be a snot rocket world record.
That is brilliant. So with the thin snot, it went even further. In fact, it went off the chart. It went past 140 centimetres, and probably if we'd had it pointing in the air, it would have gone into space.
Well, it certainly got on my scrubs. Well, that was a brilliant demonstration, and one of the many good reasons that you must cover your face and nose with your elbow if you ever cough or sneeze.
Exactly, Chris. I love snot rockets. But now it's time for me to get back to work on my screenplay. I just need to find the rest of the document. Wait a minute. I saw you shredding an enormous pile of papers earlier. Have you been shredding my screenplay?
No time to talk, Zond. I have to go and look after a rabbit for a friend. Excuse me.
Why would he need shredded paper for a rabbit?